ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the PWBA Las Vegas Open, our continuing coverage. Bowl TV on Extra Frame. Emil Williams Jr. with Aaron Smith and Jason Thomas as our casters round three just underway. On our featured pair this morning, Mariana Ayala, Jerry Tan, and Jennifer Higgins. Top 32 bowlers after 12 games of qualifying yesterday. We'll bowl 6 more games this morning. Once those 6 games are complete, the top 12 players will advance to match play. And those match play finalists will then be split into 2 groups, each featuring 6 players. One group will consist of the odd seeds, and the other will feature, the even seeds. Once the 12 are divvied up, each group will then bowl 6 additional games of round robin match play, which will include a final position round. And that's part of a different format. Of course, the format change to the tournament or the tour itself from an event standpoint, adding more qualifiers to the casters round. The group match play finalists, and then also a group stepladder final as well, because at the end of match play, the top qualifier in each group will earn an automatic spot in the televised stepladder final. Seeding will be determined by total pins. The second, third, and fourth qualifiers in each group will advance to a group stepladder final to determine the final 2 spots in the stepladder. It'll be a normal one. You have third and fourth qualifiers will compete in a 1-game match. Winner will take on the second qualifier. The winners of each group stepladder will then bowl each other in the opening match of the stepladder final, which of course will be aired June 7th. So the format change in conjunction with the opportunity to showcase and televise each PWBA event. This particular show will be taped during Queen's Weekend, which is now at the end of the month, May 1st. Happy May to all. Happy birthday to all who may have a birthday in May as well. But at the end of the month, this show will be taped along with 3 others: the Sonoma County Open and the Sacramento Open, and of course the Queen Show will be live. The air date for this particular event, the Las Vegas Open, will take place June 7th on CBS Sports Network. Of course, if you have any information or are looking for any more information, I should say, any questions, so head to PWBA.com. The event format is detailed there as well. Our top 32 also can be found on PWBA.com. Rocio Restrepo, plus 318 to lead the Las Vegas Open squad and this event. A great field. Field of 89 bowlers. Again, total pinfall of 27.18, an average of 226.5 plus 318 for 12 games. She led the way at a dominant second block, including a 269 and a 286 game. In fact, that 286 came in game 10 overall, and the 4th game of the second block propelled her to the lead, which she did not relinquish. Behind her, Sandra Gongora from Mexico, Rocio, a native of Colombia, bowling, of course, out of Louisville, Ohio. Gongora plus 298, not too far behind. She was pretty solid all day as well. Shannon Pluhowski third at plus 279. New Fin New from Singapore. Great game, phenomenal talent, and a pleasure to watch bowl as well. Plus 234. The Hall of Famer Liz Johnson in fifth at plus 231. Kelly Kulick, PWBA spokesperson, a USBC board member, of course, and on her way, a future Hall of Famer, certainly, no doubt. Plus 201. Linda Barnes, Hall of Famer at plus 200. Kelly in sixth, Linda in seventh. Jazreel Tan from Singapore, former Wichita State Shocker, plus 196 in eighth. Sheena Ung from Singapore as well, plus 193. Karen Marcano from Venezuela at plus 172. That is your top 10. Your cut line was Alicia Current. Alicia won last year's first standard event of the new PWBA season after the relaunch. She won the Storm Sacramento Open last year. She will keep her dreams alive here and potentially claiming victory at the PWBA Las Vegas Open. It's going to take a lot here in this 6-game block to make the top 12, but again, she did do enough to make the cut at plus 15. 31st was plus 40. To give you an idea, pin differential. Leanne Holsenberg in 30th shot 245 to make it in the last game, and a nice back four of 224, 230, 207, and 245 to make the cut. Again, from 11 down, Amanda Green, Christina Zerbinski, Sherry Tan, Jen Higgins, Stephanie Johnson, Missy Parkin, Diana Zadyalova, Cassandra Luthold, Shannon O'Keefe, Christina Wendell, Danielle McEwen, Carolyn Dorn Ballard, Liz Colkin, Jody Wessner, Brenda Padilla, Ashley Galante, Mariana Ayala, Tania Falbo, Brandy Branca, Leanne Holsenberg, Maria Jose Rodriguez, and Alicia Curran. And that is 11 to 32 in your standings. In 1 through 10, Rocio Restrepo, Sandra Gongora, Shannon Plahowski, Yufin New, Liz Johnson, Kelly Kulick, Linda Barnes, Jazreel Tan, Sheena Ung, and Karen Marcano. Now we are through 5 frames here on the featured pair this morning. Throughout the day, especially during match play, of course, we'll take a look at the setup, see what we can provide from a camera basis. Right now, these ladies off to pretty decent starts. Here is Ayala leaving a 10-pin. Nice shot, at least on this pair. Bowlers seem to be playing a little bit left, going left to right slightly in that 12-13 area at the arrows. Did not see many players playing straight or the outside part of the lane, at least for right-handers. Again, battling 39-foot oil pattern. All right, Kegel. Fire oil. Gus has been doing his thing throughout the weekend, making sure the lanes are taken care of and conditioned properly. Nice shot there from Tan. She has opened game 1 of this Cashers round, technically round 3, with 5 out of 6 to begin things here. Mentioned the strong international contingent in this field. Very strong showing from Singapore, and that's certainly no surprise there. Sherry Tan, Jazz Real Tan, Shayna Ung, and Hufin Nu. All in the top 13, and 3 in the top 10 as we begin again our round of 32. In a field of 89 women opened things up yesterday. Shannon Pluhowski has the front 7 on the low end of the house. We'll keep you updated as Shannon is on the quest for perfection in game number 1 here this morning. Again, 6 more games. The top 12 will move on to match play. Those 12 finalists will be grouped by seeds, odd seeds in one group, even seeds in another. And each group will face off with round robin match play. Another 6-game block. Well, Tan now with a 10-pin. Just one open so far on this pair, and that came from Jen Higgins in the last frame. Jen Higgins, no stranger to elite bowling. Technically a rookie on the PWBA tour. She did bowl there too last season as an amateur. Former Team USA member. So if you're unaware, get an idea certainly of how strong players are on this tour. Jen Higgins is a rookie. Shannon Pluhowski left a 10-pin in the 9th frame to end the run at perfection to open things up. Solid 279 still out there for Aaron Smith and Jason Thomas also in the booth and around. Was taking care of business. Main stories, one of the main stories, of course, the international contingent. The other simply just the kickoff of this season's PWBA tour. A lot of excitement. Saw the likes, of course, of social media. See the women throughout the last few months preparing, getting ready, updating. Excitement level is certainly here. It has been fun to watch so far. It will only continue to get better as we move forward, not only today, but throughout the season. Nice shot from Parkin off screen, on off camera. Oh, Missy Parkin with a strike in the 9th frame. 152 in the ninth for Missy. Stephanie Johnson, 155 in the seventh, working on a spare. Ashley Galante, 168 in the seventh. Strike in the eighth, and the 10 pin to deal with here in the ninth frame. And she will convert. Back over to 37 and 38. You see the numbers on the scoreboard. Where they are, of course, that plus number after 12 games. Nice shot again by Ayala. Another 10 pin. Which all the ladies hit their bowling balls and their ball reps, of course, with also assisting with surface preparations prior to practice. And Jen Higgins will get a little love tap on the 7 pin. She'll have an opportunity to still gain pins. No doubles for Higgins here in game number 1. Ayala, 10 pin. She'll knock that down. I want to thank Jeff Goodger from Extra Frame coming out, making sure we were good to go. Bowl TV on Extra Frame for the second consecutive season here in the PWBA Tour. Good start from Amanda Green. Amanda Green, game 1, 235. Couple pairs to our left. Amanda, another young and extremely talented player. Won her first PWBA title last year. Lincoln Open, and Lincoln, Nebraska will be back there in June. Part of that Midwest swing of the tour. We'll hit Detroit, Wichita, and Lincoln before moving east. This is essentially the West Coast portion of the swing as well as we open things up here in Las Vegas. Next week in Rohnert Park, California. Next week is the nationwide PWBA Sonoma County Open, followed by the Storm Sacramento Open, and then the USBC Queens here in Las Vegas. Ayala and Higgins here in the 10th frame. 10 pin for Higgins and the 3-6 for Ayala here. She'll make the spare. Strike will give her 205. Off to a decent start again. Cut line for the cashers round is 12. Top 12 will move on into match play. Right now, that spot belongs to Christina Zerbinski. To close it out. Big four. She'll take that extra stick. 2:01 to start for Ayala. And Higgins will remain with the 7 pin. So 183 to start for Jen. Husband Dan Higgins make a very tough mixed doubles combination. And Sherry Tan now to finish things out. Tan doing work here this morning. 2:37 still left. Get a good look at her form. Plus 159 again coming into this morning's round. In 13th, the southpaw. And she'll leave the 7 pin. Spear will give her 227. Game one is to be in the books. This pair might have been the last ones to finish up. Game one complete, game 13 overall. We will have continued scores and updates on PWBA.com. Check PWBA.com. Tournaments. Look under schedule. Of course, opening event of the new season, PWBA Las Vegas Open right on top. Click details. Scroll through the bottom. You'll, of course, get the schedule of the event itself, what's going on and how it's going on. And then at the bottom, you get a roster, a tour roster, if you're curious, of course. The lane pattern. Round one qualifying, round two qualifying scores, and our cashers round here, match play, and then when we get to those points, match play in the group step ladder. Now coming to our featured pair here. Jazriel Tan, Linda Barnes, and Brandy Bronco. Brandy, the unofficial leader in the best dressed category yesterday. And a very nice Wonder Woman themed jersey. Maybe something to be on the lookout for throughout the season. The creativity of these women and how they express themselves through their athletic apparel. Bronca to start on the right. Already a 3-pin to deal with for Jazriel. Nice shot there from Brandy Bronca to open things up here in game number 2. If you're just joining us, you are watching the PWBA Las Vegas Open at Texas Station here in North Las Vegas. Emil Williams Jr. along with Aaron Smith and Jason Thomas. This is round 3, the cashier's round. The top 32 bowlers all bowling 6 games. The top 12 will move on to match play this afternoon. Coming into game number 1, Rocio Restrepo was your leader, plus 318. Had a very nice field of 89 bowlers, including of course, some standout names and familiar names that certainly always enjoy hearing, like Wendy McPherson, well, USBC Hall of Famer. Wendy Mack was in attendance, competing, 20-time PWBA titleist, and is tied for 6th all-time on tour with CDB Carolyn Doran Ballard, who is in the top 32 field here. The familiar names: Kim Adler, recently inducted into the USBC Hall of Fame on Thursday night, just a few days ago. Bowled her first professional tournament in a little more than a decade. To our right, Tania Falbo, Shayna Ung, and Kieran Marcano. Tough shot in the second frame for Marcano. Went forward through the nose, dropped one. Now the 3, 6, 7, 9, 10. Again, folks, don't forget, check out the PWBA Tour on social media. Check us out on Facebook. Search PWBA Tour, of course. Jason Thomas had some very nice highlights throughout yesterday's qualifying blocks, both the morning and afternoon, getting some great shots of these great bowlers in action. I encourage you to check those out, share them, like them, comment. Also follow the PWBA Tour on Twitter. At PWBA Tour. And that is at PWBA Tour. Follow us at the same place on Instagram as well. At the PWBA Tour Instagram page. A lot of channels, Instagram and Twitter. Saw several photographs of the many representatives of the tour. A nice video of the convention portion where they each came out on stage, represented their local association, said where they were from, and said a few words each as well. And then followed that up with an autograph session in the main hallway or corridor there at the Orleans Convention Center, the portion where the convention was held. And people were just fantastic. The fans very appreciative, and the players very appreciative of the fans and willing to make their experience, the fans' experience, that much better. They had cards to sign. Each went just down the row, player to player. They all signed up, got some plastic coverings to take them home so they wouldn't get messed up. And saw a lot of happy faces. So you get an idea of that on the PWBA Tour, again, Instagram page. If you are on Instagram, check that out. Check out, again, the Twitter spot. That's on your screen at PWBA Tour and at PWBA Tour. Same as Instagram and Facebook. PWBA Tour as well. Professional Women's Bowling Association. Brandy Bronco with another solid shot. Strike, spare, three-bagger for Brandy. First strike for Jazriel Tan. She had the case of the spares through the first four. First strike coming in the fifth frame. Trip four for Linda Barnes. Linda will take that break. I'll give her a double. Again, the pace still quick. Seems slightly slower than yesterday during qualifying. It just kind of rolled past, just zipped through. For most, still, of course, 3 on the pair. There were some with 2. So here is Jazriel Tan. Tan looking for 3 in a row. And back to the 10 pin. Good shot. Barnes up now looking for 3 in a row. Just a pair or 2 pairs to our left. Tan takes care of business there. Liz Johnson. 280 pace. She'll head to the 9th frame on a 6-bagger. I've said that a few times, I believe, so far this weekend about Liz, which again, certainly to be expected. Nice shot from Tania foul ball. Tania to our right here with a double. Another double for Brandy Bronca. She'll double up headed into the 9th frame. In the goal here, top 32. I beg your pardon. We are watching the top 32 goal, top 12. As Tan will get the break. Breaks up the split. Would have been a 4-6-7. She'll take the 4-7. And Liz Johnson a little light will leave a 2-pin. Air in the 9th frame. Updated standings after 1. Just when you thought maybe Shannon Puhalski, we mentioned she had the front 8 for a 10-pin stop during the 9th frame. Rocio Restrepo matches that essentially and shoots 277 game 1 to keep the lead. The PWBA Las Vegas Open. Restrepo plus 395 after that 277, 230. The average. Puhalski plus 358, again not far behind. At plus 358. Sandra Gongora, 222 in game 1. In third at plus 320. Liz Johnson, 213 in game 1. Now sits at plus 244. Finn New, 207 in game 1 at plus 241 overall. Jazriel Tan shot 237 in game 1 at plus 233. She is in 6th. Karen Marcano struggling a little bit here in game 2 of the Cashers round. At plus 216. Linda Barnes shot 203 from Double Oak, Texas. She shot 203 and she is at plus 203 in 8th position. Shayna Ung, 205. She's sitting at 198 over. Amanda Green in 10th. Nice 235 to move her up the standings at plus 198. Sherry Tan, 227. You saw that on your featured pair right here in game 1 at plus 186. Again, the cut line 12th. That currently belongs to Stephanie Johnson of Grand Prairie, Texas at plus 163 after a 215 start. Lurking. Diana Zavialova in 13th. And 14th, Christina Zerbinski. And 15th, Kelly Kulik. And 16th, Danielle McEwen. And 17th, Shannon O'Keefe. And 18th, Missy Parkin. Plus 162, plus 161, plus 159, plus 158, plus 144, plus 141. That is 13th through 18th. So just one game complete. Just off to our right, Amanda Green continuing to put up good scores here, 221. Here in game 2. So now Green 235, 221. Christina Zerbinski in the 220s. The high 220s with good counter strike will give her 228. That ball high from Jazriel Tan. Jazriel struggling a little bit on this pair, but still in good position to not give away any pins. A spare and a strike will give her 201. She will convert. Well, Linda Barnes up to finish the 10th frame. Nice shot in the 10th, first one for Linda. So Tan strikes. Again, and toughs their way through a 201 game. Able to keep it clean. And that is a sign of a great bowler. Not the best ball reaction. Took it to the 5th frame to get her first strike. Able to double up and a couple spares in between. She's able to shoot 201, not give anything away. In fact, at least gain one. And continue on. Welcome back, folks. PWBA Las Vegas Open. Continuing coverage rolling on. Cashier's round action. Top 32 will be dwindled down to the top 12 for match play this afternoon. Already in game number 3 here this morning. That started at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Updated scores after 14 games and 2 games, of course, this round. Rocio Restrepo continues to lead here, plus 442, 277, 247. Already 124 pins over here through 2 this morning. Shannon Pluhowski in second, 279, 199. Games 1 and 2, plus 357. Sandra Gongora, 222, 224, plus 344. She sits in third. In fourth, Liz Johnson from Cheektowaga, New York, plus 292, 213, 248. Hufin New, 207, 243. New currently on your feature pair along with Shannon Pluhowski and Maria Rodriguez. And sixth, Jazriel Tan. So our grind through a nice or solid 201 game, I should say. Strikes didn't come plentiful in that game, but again, able to keep the spares coming, the frames filled, and didn't give away anything, and she sits in 6th place at plus 234. Amanda Green in 7th at plus 219. Shot 235, again 221. So moving up the standings is Green every game so far. Linda Barnes in 8th, 203, 211 from Double O, Texas, plus 214. Sherry Tan, 227, 221. She sits at plus 207. In 9th, teammate Shayna Ung, Team Singapore, 205, 202, plus 200. Shayna is in 10th. Christina Zerbinski back into the top 12 after a nice 228 in game 2 this morning. She sits at plus 189, and Diana Zavialova now the new cut line at 12. 235, 226 for Diana. She sits at plus 188. That is your cut line. The top 12, 188. As we are now in game 3. Greek Church here that's Hufin New. Open in the 5th frame. Just to our right, Liz Johnson with the front 4. Liz on lanes 41 and 42. Currently crossing with Kelly Kulik and Leanne Holsenberg. Certainly quite the trio. And all that is great about our sport and the women's bowling. New able to get back on the strike train. 4-9 split up for Maria Rodriguez. Got a major title under her belt, excuse me. On the Queens just a couple of years ago. 2014. And Shannon Pluhowski. There's another one on the board. Shannon appeared in 6 match play appearances, or made 6 match play appearances, I beg your pardon. And made a couple championship round appearances as well. And did not come away with victory last season. I would expect that to change this year. She is off to a pretty good start this weekend. Still a long way to go, several more games to be bowled. But right now in strong position to make match play here in the opening event of the 2016 season. Last year's leaders, both earnings and points, along with average, was Liz Johnson, which was why, no doubt, she was named the PWBA Player of the Year for the 2015 season. Stephanie Johnson led the tour in cashes. Won the Wichita Open. Dead Stephanie finished second at the Tour Championship. She was named Rookie of the Year. Who will this year's Rookie of the Year be? One question that needs to be answered, of course, Player of the Year down the road as well. Mentioned Jen Higgins, a rookie on tour. She will certainly give it a run. Be intrigued to see how many players continue to just step up and reach that elite tier, that second tier, if you will, and then on to that first elite tier. Mentioned a little bit yesterday, the kind of that first name status. Many young players and veterans alike on this tour. A talented field. Events continue to grow. And someone will more than likely make a name for themselves. Maybe someone you may not have heard of, but you probably will in just a couple of months as the season continues on. And our first look in viewing distance of the leader, Rocio Restrepo. Rocio crossed over in the 8th. She'll take the strike. 134 in the 7th. Another strike for Pluhowski. A chance to see Shannon at the International Training and Research Center, along with Stephanie Johnson on hand to work with, assist, and guide the Fabulous Four. If you're unfamiliar with that, Fabulous Four, 4 winners of a specific contest. The winners are all breast cancer survivors. They were honored, had a chance to come down to Dallas, the Susan G. Komen headquarters on one day, and then the following day we're at the ITRC and the IBC campus. Greeted, got a tour of the Hall of Fame and museum. Coaching from Shannon, Stephanie, head coach Rod Ross, assistant coach Kim Terrell-Kearney. Shannon was there, and again, and Stephanie just happy to do it, and really providing such a great spark, and smiles continue from the Fabulous Four. All of them had some previous bowling experience, and so they were aware. Well, Shannon and Stephanie had heard of them, but once they walked through the museum and saw them as part of an exhibit, it really hit them that they had an opportunity to be coached from some of the best bowlers in the world. Pluhowski on a 4-bagger. Liz Johnson thought she might have had a 4-bagger, but a 5-pin did not go. It just twirled and twirled and twirled and actually was swept away. So they'll reset that for Liz. Kelly Kulik 4-bagger as well. Kelly looking at 268 off the sheet. She'll head to the 10th frame, 3-bagger, spare 4-bagger. And Shannon there with a 7-pin. Maria Rodriguez finishes with 171. Those interested, check out Bowl for the Cure on bowl.com. You can assist. Run your own bowl.com, Bowl for the Cure event in your local center. Help raise funds and continue to raise funds to find a cure. Kulik off camera here, but the first one in the 10th is good for K squared. Yufin New finishes with 190. And Pluhowski adds more to her total, 221. Shannon for the first 3, 279 and 199. and 221. Top 12 slowly rounding into form as we near completion throughout the house of game 3. Kulik second in the 10th. That is pure as well. Now in the 260s. Kelly was quite busy this week as a member of the USBC Board of Directors. Made several appearances. Spoke several times at the USBC convention. And then, of course, came over on Friday to officially begin, as that messenger won't kick the 10. Her PWBA Tour season. 267, I beg your pardon, for Kelly Kulik. Liz Johnson, again, just off to our right as well. First strike in the 10th. Strike here will put her in the 250s. Coming up next, you'll get a look as Johnson packs 10. So she is in the 250s now. Alicia Current, Rocio Restrepo, and Sandra Gongora. A very solid trio. Your leader after 2 games. She got the break in the 8th, did Rocio. She propelled that 5-bagger to finish the game 224. 267 for Kelly, 258 for Liz Johnson. A couple pairs just off to our right. Aaron Smith back in the booth with us here, along with Jason Thomas. We had several solid guests yesterday. Steve Klumpkin, the PWBA, the USBC Hall of Fame on Thursday, along with Kim Adler. That class included Kim Adler, again Steve Klumpkin, Joan Romeo, Notorious Service, Harry Sellens in the veterans category, and Mike Durbin for superior performance. Again, congratulations to those 5 new members. Steve joined us yesterday. His wife Marsha was bowling. She was in the field. Patrick Allen joined us as well, PA. It was good to hear from him. PA, of course, the player of the year, PWBA Tour, and in fact was quite dominant at one point. Best bowler on tour, period. Doing a good stretch as we see in a nice bounce back game for Jadriel Tan, 269. A few pairs to our right. Stephen Padilla joined us as well in the booth. Gary Brown, Managing Director of Youth Development at the International Bowling Campus, joined us in the afternoon. Frank DeSocio, BPAA Executive Director. And we had Mike Larson, former collegiate bowler, Director of Associations and Membership Operations for the United States Bowling Congress. So your featured pair now, you'll get a good look at the leader. This is Rocio Restrepo of Louisville, Ohio. And of course, a native of Colombia and a member of the national team for quite some time. If you're a Wichita State fan, this is a dream for you. 3 former Shockers, also on the featured pair as well as all 3. Graced the lanes in hardwood at the Radigan Student Center. Restrepo starts with a spare. Current looking for the early double. Again, Alicia Current won the first standard event last year at the Storm Sacramento Open. They had fireside lanes led by Steve Cook, and the 2.810 there for Miss Current. Current head coach at Delaware State University. Made a nice run at the Intercollegiate Team Championships just last week in Wichita. Good shot there by Gongora. Everyone looks to be through game 3. Let's see if our standings are updated. Again, these bowlers trying to tackle the 2016 Las Vegas Open. This pattern, 39 feet in distance. Working with the fire conditioner. Kegel providing the lane maintenance. The fire, oil, and the flex machine. And Gus essentially on the 1s and 2s doing his thing, of course. A little high on the headpin there from Current, 4-7. Here is Gongora. 4-step approach for Sandra, but 4 through the middle there. So say she gets a lot of power and always has. Spare taken care of by Alicia Current. Off to our right, Maria Rodriguez, Shannon Pluhowski, and Hufin New. They have moved a pair to our right. Should be able to get a good look at Liz Colkin, Danielle McEwen, and CDB, Carolyn Doran Ballard, in game 5. On our featured pair. Let's take a look and see what we have from an update standpoint. Not updated as of yet. One reason is my internet has timed out, so I'll be back up shortly. But again, for continued updates and scores, check PWBA.com. Check schedule or click schedule. Click on the details portion. You'll see that item next to the Las Vegas Open. Scroll down, you'll see the schedule, and then you also have opportunities to view standings from qualifying, both round 1 and 2, and of course our cashers round, which is currently ongoing. Top 32 players from yesterday's qualifying, trying to make the top 12. As Gongora back on the strike train in the 4th frame. Looking forward to seeing today's round. To see who can make a run potentially and make match play and be a part of the new format. The dual match play brackets, if you will, where the top 12 seeds will be grouped based on odd and even seeds. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There is Restrepo. Rocio looking pretty good. Get a 3-bagger here on 37 and 38. And Current takes care of the 10-pin. Pleased to be joined now in the booth by someone who has quickly elevated themselves on my favorite persons list. That is Tennille Milligan.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great this morning here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Even though I haven't seen the light of day in the last couple days because we've got this great bowling happening.
Yes, we do. It has been a busy week throughout, and we get to end it essentially on one of the best notes possible, and that is crowning a first champion of this season's PWBA Tour, which, of course, you are very familiar with.
I am. Used to play a professional on TV many moons ago, but now I get to work behind the scenes as the membership services manager, which is exciting because still get to be a part of something that was so special in my life, and now these young, talented women have a place to showcase their talents. So I'm still very fortunate and happy to be involved.
4-bagger for Rocio Restrepo. You know, you get an opportunity to obviously see all of these talented bowlers quite often. Does this amaze you at the level of talent that we see, and can you compare it to when you were out competing as well?
Definitely. These the women now, compared to when I came out, I thought I was part of a pretty stellar class of newbies. Coming out with Kelly Kulick, Tiffany Stanbro, Maxine Nabel from Australia. Kendra Gaines was already out, but we had a very strong, talented pool of women there. But the pool that is now out here and the knowledge that they have, they're so much better than what we were, than at the time. Rocio Restrepo, through collegiate bowling, Sandra Gongori. Internationally, I think we're seeing this big push. But these girls are good, and I am glad that I am behind the scenes now.
Maybe one day we can see if we can get you the old commissioner's exemption.
Oh yeah, I'll be pushing my walker out there with them.
String stops for Restrepo. But she is the leader in the pack.
as we see these ladies bowl, Rocio, a wealth of international knowledge now coming out here onto the ladies tour, going through collegiate bowling. Again, as I said, these girls are great. They take our game so serious, as all athletes should. Their workout regimens, their practice time, yeah, it's great. It's awesome, and I hope the young ladies that are watching this morning are taking notes and striving to be the best that they can, so we can see them in future years.
Talked about that collegiate bowling portion to this event, kind of that level and that stepping stone, of course, with the tour back. There is something to aspire to immediately. And if you're a young woman coming up through the ranks, just getting started, high school, college, and then now, of course, the professional level. 3 Wichita State Shockers on this pair, and several more collegiate players we talked about yesterday. Still some here just to our right. Maria Rodriguez, Maryland Eastern Shore, as well. Shannon Pluhowski, Nebraska, Kelly Kulick, Morehead State, for example, as well. It's weird that Kelly, of course, was the young and upcomer right as the tour had deceased. So it's, she gets to, and she's had obviously great success throughout the last few years, certainly, but to kind of be back where she belongs in a sense.
Absolutely, right? I mean, she belonged out with, on the PBA tours. A lot of ladies have proven, but this is where she should be. And thank you again to everybody who made that possible for her to be back. And she's bowling to our right over here with Leanne Holsenberg. Many of you know as Leanne Barrett. I mean, she paved the way. Started in the 80s, and she's still competing. So that's another story in itself. I mean, yes, she's back. She wants to be here, bowling amongst a lot of these young whippersnappers.
Leanne third on the all-time titles list with 26 PWBA titles. Saw Wendy McPherson competing.
Wendy McPherson was back this week. She'll be back again in the weeks to come. And Carol Giannotti, another one. She's coming back. She's flying over from Australia to bowl a few stops. So we're seeing our veterans also seeing this opportunity and jumping on it and saying, let's go, let's support.
It's a good mix. It's a very good mix of, as you said, young talent, fresh, and also the veterans with the experience and, tops on the all-time titles list as well. And it is a sight to see, certainly as a fan of the sport and certainly as a fan of women's bowling. Updated standings after 3 games. Look a little something like this after 15 overall and 3 this morning. Rocio Restrepo continues now to lead and put in a little distance between her and Shannon Pluhowski, not much, but plus 466. She has continued the torrid pace this morning. 277, 247, 224. She heads to the 8th looking for a double as well. Restrepo leading, Shannon Pluhowski second at plus 378. Liz Johnson now making the move. She's in the top 3 at plus 350. She sits in third. 9 pin there for Restrepo. Sandra Gongora in 4th at plus 338. Jazreel Tan in 5th at plus 303. Dufin New at plus 274 in 6th. Christina Zerbinski making the move up the ladder as well. Shot 255 in game 3. She is in 7th now at plus 244. Shayna Ung from Singapore, plus 237. In 8th, Kelly Kulick in 9th, plus 232. Sherry Tan, plus 224 in 10th. Stephanie Johnson back in the cut line. Nice 243 in game number 3 at plus 210. And Amanda Green had a good start. She shot 184 and lost some sticks. She's now in 12th at plus 203.
Oh, man. If you look in that top 12 right there off of this morning's block, look at the international flavor that we have going on. It's amazing. I mean, they're coming in strong. And I think that's something to be said about what's out here right now. I mean, look at again, going back to the practice regimens, their the study of the game, the coaching that they're receiving, and they're out here. I mean, years ago, I mean, yes, we did have ladies from many places around the world come out and bowl, but not like this, and this high level and this successful.
And
I think it's great.
They continue to come out and will bowl multiple stops.
We will see more and more as the weeks go on. We'll see more. We'll see the ladies from Malaysia. They have joined the PWBA tour. Some from Indonesia, a few from Sweden, a couple from Australia. They see what is happening out here and they want to be a part of it.
Well, I tell you, Team Singapore has saw it too, and they have represented well. All four actually in the top 12.
Absolutely. Even the girls from South America. Girls from Venezuela are out here. Colombia.
Nice shot again by Restrepo. Living in Ohio currently, but a long time member of Team Colombia. Maria Rodriguez also. Colombia, we saw Angie Ramirez Perea as well competing.
On our live stream pair, Sandra from Team Mexico. Still competing strong.
It is impressive.
It gives me goosebumps. It makes me excited.
And it does a lot for you on a personal level, but when you look at the sport as a whole, it's one of those things where if people aren't seeing it, they just got to open up the eyes there and realize where we are on an international level and how that can certainly translate to other portions of the country and other markets. And you talk about Olympics and different things like that. It's here.
It is. It's right here. It's live and in person across the country this year. If you're close to a PWBA event, get out there, support these women. They'll love it, and you'll get to see it in person. You're watching it right now live, but when you see this in person, it's like, wow. I got to come out a little bit this week from, not working behind the scenes, but actually get to see and watch these ladies, and I'm in awe. And for some that may know me, it takes a lot for me to say that. But yeah, these girls are good, and you hear it over and over and over. But wow, I mean, you've heard the veterans say it. They're out here competing with them, and they have stepped up their game to get out more and more. Where you gotta practice. You gotta practice. You got not just on the lanes, but reading, studying, physical fitness. Just wow. I'm just in awe.
You're right. It takes a lot to be a peak performance athlete, and these women certainly have regimens. They stick to it, and that's what it takes certainly to get the job done. They're excited, and this is just the first event of the season. So a lot more to take place. A lot of names to be recognized, some new faces, I'm sure, and we'll probably hear some new names in the winner's circle at some point as well.
Absolutely. The new unique format that was created this season, you'll see more people. You'll see different stars emerge, and these young athletes that are coming out, they're making a name for themselves, and they're proving it. Their balls are striking. They've made a presence. They have a presence out here.
Rolling on a 39-foot pattern are these women. Have you had a chance to kind of take a look at where the ladies have been playing and getting an idea of, if you were bowling, how you would attack the pattern?
Oh, goodness. My plastic ball doesn't strike like it used to. There's a lot of different angles that these ladies have been playing these lanes. You see from playing from inside and out. What I kind of look at it, I would probably go a little bit straighter at it for myself. If I was back in my prime, I could throw it a little bit harder then. I would be out there probably throwing a little bit harder, staying up back of it, going up the lane. Now with my 12-mile-per-hour ball speed, it would force me left, have to get in and try to get around it and feed it to, right into the track area. There's a nice little spot that's been created out there, but yeah, my ball speed isn't up. So today I'd probably be playing left and just letting the ball float right in.
Strepo trying to close this 10th frame. She will chop the bucket. The lone open in the 10th.
Yes, not very pleased at that. She knows that she makes that 9 out of 10 times for Rocio, but 216, respectable out here. She's got herself a nice little lead. She'll put herself in good position going into this afternoon's match play block.
Yeah, at this point, barring a catastrophe of some kind, Rocio should be certainly in the top 12. The leader portion, of course, still to be determined with Shannon, Liz, Sandra, even Jazreel still bowling quite well. Those competitors, the only 5 above the plus 300 margin. Rocio, the lone competitor after 15 games, again, over 400. It just gives you an idea, folks at home, of course, the type of bowling she's done. You can catch and see all of her scores just by going to PWBA.com. Click on schedule, select the Las Vegas Open, scroll through the bottom, and you can see all of the round 1 and round 2 qualifying, of course, along with our cashers round and moving toward match play and the stepladder finals later.
Yeah, Rocio, with her 216s, she's gonna gain actually quite a bit of ground on Shannon Plahowski. She just finished up her last game, Plahowski, with the 156. So definitely that spare's not going to hurt her a whole lot, but Shannon, again, she'll come back this last game. She always does. She's a strong competitor. She'll learn from that. So, and Liz Johnson, though, is putting on some heat. She just shot a 248 game. So Liz is licking her chops, saying, let's go.
Yeah, LJ has come out to play, as she always does. 213, 248, 258, and now another big game as well. And so she's looking with an eye on that top spot. Again, that unique format you mentioned, Tennille. The top 12 will then be grouped by seeds. Odd seeds will be in one grouping. Even seeds, of course, will be in another. We'll have round robin match play at that point. And then after those 6 games, the top 2 seeds, one from each pod, if you will be the first 2 seeds on the televised final, which will take place here in a few weeks, or will be taped, I should say, in a few weeks and aired on June 7th. And then, of course, the remaining competitors in those pods will continue to move on as well in another group step ladder. So a lot of excitement, a lot of intrigue as well, and it creates a lot of potential for
it's going to be a lot of drama. And that's what I think our sport really has lacked, in a better term. I mean, don't know how else to put it out there, but who doesn't like some drama out there to see what these ladies are going out? And they're going to be watching each other, seeing what's happening in these different pods as we go. The stepladder finals, in the 2 groups to see who's going to make it in there. Of course, the top seed after those is guaranteed to make that televised TV show in a few weeks. That during the Queen's event there will be taped. But yeah, excitement for the athletes, excitement for the fans in the back. They're going to be going back and forth, and who's this? Oohs and ahs. I know I will. I'll be.
Absolutely.
My palms are sweating now just thinking about it, about these ladies and how they're feeling, because when you're out there, your juices are flowing, you are ready to go, you're ready to strike, you're ready to attack. Who doesn't want to make national TV?
And that's what's on the line at that point. When we get to that point, it will be 4 spots to compete for the Las Vegas Open Championship on CBS Sports Network.
Absolutely. And every week now for these ladies, not just 3 majors, but every week. They're going to be on television. It's it's a dream for them. It's a dream for them. It's a dream for bowling. It's a dream for outsiders who haven't really seen what bowling has to offer. You know, sports bars across America, households, collegiate programs will play it in their local centers, and look at what we have. Look at this product. It's beautiful.
And it's easy to when you see it on TV, of course, it's, it's right there, front and center. And again, from the aspiration standpoint and being able to properly suggest and alert, tell the viewing fans, public, and again, most importantly, the youth, that there is a level. There's a next level you can get to. And here are the wonderful women that you can look up to do so.
Absolutely, and each one has their own special story. As I'm looking here on our live stream pair, Brenda Padilla, she bowled collegiately for Nebraska. She was out on the PWBA tour. She was out very young, right out of college. And then she has gone on to become a school teacher.
Fifth grade.
Fifth grade science, I believe, science teacher, and she has a daughter. She has a daughter and a son. But she's still coming out here and competing with these ladies because she loves the sport of bowling. And that's a story in itself to know she's gone through all these different levels and again has recognized the importance of what is near and dear to her heart.
Players have made their move here for our next game. Of course, Brenda Padilla. Now Diana Zavyalova, Latvia. And Cassandra Luthold, another Nebraska product. Diana from Weber International. And so she, of course, made the move to travel from her homeland to the United States in search of, obviously, some education, coaching, and the opportunity to get to this level.
I remember when Diana first came on the scene, and she came out here such a young, deer in headlights at that point. She was just soaking it all in and was very nervous, but she got out there and she bowled, and these last few years that she has grown, and man, that she's phenomenal.
I would agree, certainly. And she, it was almost like an instant, once she got it, it was just, boom. Here's Diana Z. I'm here to stay.
Here I am. And once they built that confidence, once you know it, and it's a confidence level. And when you get it, you're like, wow, it's that aha moment. And any athlete who has ever experienced that knows that they can win at any given time. I used to say, used to root against and say, I hope she never gets that. I hope she never feels that, because you're like, oh, dang it, I'm going to have to work even harder now.
And that's a great point you mentioned. And I'm sure, on tour, if you're a veteran, for example, or someone you've seen and you watch the younger players as they make the transition from, the collegiate ranks to the professional ranks, there's generally a learning curve, so to speak, as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you just said, you watch them, but you see them getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to work harder. But that's what makes an athlete so great, is that person who can make you work harder. It was embraced, but in the back of your mind, it was that person going, darn you.
Yes, Diana Z is a prime example. Queens winner, of course, major winner, 2013 USBC Queens.
That's a tough tournament. It's a very tough tournament. That road, you can bowl 750 and lose, and the person next to you bowls 520 and wins. But you still have to bowl great.
Yeah, no matches off
No.
in the queens, and again, depending on pairs and a lot of variables in that format, which makes it so great as well. But you can't take the match off, can't take a frame off.
Not at all. Nobody can take that tiara off your head once you've won it. It is forever yours, and you'll always want to get another and another and another. Once you win and you have that victory under your belt, you want another one. There's no doubt about that. And each one of these ladies, they're all gunning. They all want to win. They're not just out here for, hey, this is fun. They want to win. There's no doubt about that.
A major title, and of course a standard title as well for Zaviolova. Won the Minnesota Open last year, and so again, another good example. Won a collegiate title as well, a national championship in 2012. Follow that with a USBC Queens Championship, and then of course a PWBA Standard Tour title last year. I mean, that's how you draw it up.
Absolutely, and she's struggling a bit this game. She's thinking about it. Her last pair she just came off of, obviously, was a little bit different than this one. She's a smart cookie. She'll start making her moves here in a minute.
Cassandra Luthold from Blackhawk, South Dakota. Again, she went to University of Nebraska Lincoln as well. A two-time Junior Team USA member. She was quite the standout collegiately. Won a national title 2009. She's the most outstanding player back then in that same year as well. And then the following year is the Division I Player of the Year. And so again, just the continued success. You mentioned Brenda Padilla. Her and her husband Stephen hold the USBC Open Championships record, regular doubles.
And I believe it was Brenda who held Stephen up in that event.
I believe it was, yes. Yes. And then she shot 300 the next day, singles. Or excuse me, the next set in singles.
Oh yes.
Padilla off to a good start, striking a three-bagger. Luthold with a 10-pin to deal with.
If I'm not mistaken, Cassandra was also the Alberta E. Crow Star of Tomorrow from USBC.
In 2005.
Oh, wow, memory's still pretty good.
How about that? Which, in that regard, is a little more than a decade ago at this point. Not to throw that out there.
Yeah, not to, yeah.
I feel you. I do. It's his. We had a great host too. The venue, Texas Station.
Very much so. They've been nothing but accommodating to these ladies. Thank you to Jerry, Frank Romano, and the entire staff here. They're amazing. If you need something, they're there. These, always asking the ladies if there is anything that they can do for them. Love it. When we see Brenda jumping around, she's in the zone. Brenda's a fiery competitor. And everybody's got their little quirks of what they do. And when you see Brenda getting in and she kneels down on one, or if she's jumping, watch out. She's striking.
She is certainly striking right now with a four-bagger. To our right, Millie Wosner, Shannon O'Keefe, and Christina Wendell. Christina had a nice season last year as well. Made a couple shows. Again, just you look down the concourse and you'd say, well, you'd expect everybody on a particular pair to win.
at any given time. Every one of these girls that are out here can win at any given time.
We talked a little bit about kind of the tour life, essentially, and how that may be, how that's a factor. It can play a role when you go, week to week. You live out of a suitcase and you travel, the consistent travel, and what that can do, to you physically, mentally. Is there a way to combat that, or what do you do, or what have you done, essentially, in the past to make it all work?
Little bit different now from back in the day. When I was on tour, we bowled 9 weeks on, 3 weeks off, 9 weeks on. So really, I was living out of the, traveling, as I called it, the tour mobile. As we loaded up, I roomed with a few different people throughout the course of my career, Maxine Nabel, Kendra Gaines, and we'd load up the back of my van and travel. But we never went home for those 9 weeks. Stop to stop, you bowl all week, you go to Pro-Am. You had, if you made the TV show, which obviously that's what
Sure.
our ultimate goal was, to get there. And then you drive 600 miles to the next stop. Hopefully you had a few hours, or if your roommate didn't make the show, they would do your laundry for you. So it wasn't, that was boom, 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 boom. These ladies it's different now for them, which I don't think it's any easier. I actually think it's a little bit harder. A lot of them have full-time jobs. They're flying in their, they got to fly from stop to stop. They get out here, they have to get in bowling mode really quick. Then, of course, they're bowling all weekend and hop back on a plane to get home to, if they have a full-time job, to go back to work, and now they're in working mode. But I know in the back of their mind they're thinking about bowling.
Right.
They're thinking about what they're going to do, and then after work they're practicing. So I think in a sense it's very, very tough for them right now. A little bit harder. I don't know if I could do it now on that type of schedule, but it's great that they have that. And I know everyone is so appreciative of it. All the sponsors that made that happen. But yeah, living out of the suitcase, it's never easy. It is fun. Never would I ever do anything different. Traveling stop to stop, meeting the people that you got to meet, seeing the places that we got to see, especially driving. And of course, all those extra little side adventures that we would have of a flat tire, flight delays, losing luggage. It's always fun.
Yeah, it's something that I remember when I was a child. Certainly wanted to be on tour. That was the goal at, I think, from age 8, probably through about probably college. But as you grow, sometimes you realize there might be a different path for me. My path essentially has led me to the behind the scenes.
Well, you're on tour right now.
I am on tour. How about that?
See, living your dream.
How about that? See, that's why you're one of my favorite people.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But it is cool. It is. It's fun. I'll be at several stops as well. So essentially, yes, I will get to follow them and present and give the stories for the viewers and the fans, and to bring that information of what's going on here back to everyone else, and being able to see what's going on is extra special. As Brenda, a big 4 in the 7th frame. Looks like one fell out, I beg your pardon. 4, 6, 7. So she wants to get back on the strike train. Zavyalova now has found a double in frames 6 and 7. That one will cross over for Padilla and leave a 9-pin. Luthold looking for a double, entering the 8th frame. Let's check our updated. standings in just a second. Don't forget, folks, check out the PWBA Tour Facebook page. Jason Thomas did a lot of work yesterday, getting some great footage. He's done the same today as well. Posting video for you on social media. You can follow the PWBA Tour as well at PWBA Tour on Twitter and Instagram as well. So you socialites out there, check these wonderful bowlers out. Show your love.
A lot of our athletes are also on Twitter. Show your love to your favorite.
Absolutely.
They all have, a lot of them have fan pages. They run contests. We didn't have that back out on tour. We didn't get to, have a contest. We didn't get to give away anything.
I'm sure you're familiar with the Shafani show.
I am.
If that was available back in the day, would you have a show like that? And who would you have picked?
Oh, wow. Put me on the spot on that one, right? Well, if there was the opportunity, would I have a show? Sure, why not? Would I be allowed to have a show of my colorful time out on tour? Possibly not. We may have been censored too much. I think it's fun. I think it's fun for these ladies to go out and have personalities and promoting the PWBA.
Absolutely. It's it gives you a look into the player as an individual, and when they're not competing, essentially, and same thing with the athletic apparel. The creativity that goes into the jerseys now, and you get a peek into what they like. Cool color schemes. Aaron pointed out yesterday the leader in the clubhouse of best dressed, best jersey was Brandy Bronco. She had a Wonder Woman.
Well, of course it's Wonder Woman.
Absolutely. So my esteemed colleague, Mr. Smith, and that is, so we have to kind of keep that ongoing. I got to pay attention to the jerseys as we move forward through the season.
But I think that we didn't have, our jerseys back then to, to design and identify our own personal style and our own personal, our personalities and who we were. I was grateful for the different apparel that I had. I had Munsing wear. I had a little penguin. It was awesome. No, I'm not that old. Come on now. But I got to design a few jerseys when I bowled a little bit, just not too long ago when they first started coming out, and it was fun. It was fun. I get to bring out that dark side. Hey, I had some skulls, but the skulls' eyeballs were hearts. Come on now.
I like that. It's a good touch.
A little bit of Queen of Hearts, my favorite. So I have a Queen of Hearts jersey on there, and one side of the heart is red, and the other side of the heart was black. So it really, the love of the sport, and also that competitor in me of I want to win.
Of course. Who wants to win right now? Brenda Padilla. She's in 23rd, tied for 23rd at plus 120. The Open in the 7th, spare in the 8th, and now a three-bagger. Final shot here in the 10th frame. She is in the 240s. Strike would give her 245, and a great boost as we get prepared for the final game here momentarily. 244 for Padilla, and it couldn't have come at a better time. After 16 games, Rocio Restrepo still the leader in the clubhouse at plus 482. Mentioned that 216 game we saw her shoot a little bit earlier. Certainly did not affect, but Liz Johnson again has slowly climbed the ladder here in this Cashers round, now in second at plus 398. As match play is imminent. Shannon Puhalski in third, again after 16, plus 334. Sandra Gongora, plus 315, and fourth as Luth Holt with a 5-bagger of her own. Jazriel Tan in fifth at plus 311. Hufin New, plus 278, and sixth. Kelly Kulik, K squared, plus 258 in seventh. Shayna Ung, plus 253 in eighth. Christina Zerbinski, plus 243 in ninth. Stephanie Johnson, plus 232 in 10th. Amanda Green holding strong at plus 228 in 11th. And Sherry Tan at plus 226 is currently 12th. That is after 16 games. So plus 226, the number after 16. That may change, of course, here after this fifth game of the Cashers round.
You see right behind them, there's a little bit of a log jam happening. Anyone can get in.
And the 13th through really the 20th spot. Can't count out Linda Barnes at plus 159 and 20th, but Karen Marcano plus 208 in 13th. Christina Wendell at 203 and 14th. Shannon O'Keefe plus 215. Carolyn Dorn-Ballard in 16th. Took me briefly by surprise. I said, why is there an S by Carolyn Dorn-Ballard's name? And then, of course, I remembered.
Is that for senior?
That is what that is.
Sorry. Oh, my goodness.
It was one of those.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it. I think we should make it big and bold. But that's what I'm talking about out here, is be proud. I mean, look at,
Yes.
we have our wily veteran making her run. She, you know, she's kind of, if I know Carolyn, she's like, okay, girls, I'm not out of it. I'm not out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me show you how it's done.
Definitely. She, Matt Canizaro wrote a great piece about Carolyn and her time on tour last year, and just kind of that, realizing that the talent level from these young women certainly phenomenal, and so that drove her to make sure she got on the lanes, stepped it up a notch from the training standpoint as well, and to really be prepared to have a good season this year.
Absolutely, and Carolyn was always one who, I mean, practice. In between squads, the days that we had off, she was in the bowling center practicing all the time. And for her now, I mean, she's now stepped it up in the physical fitness part of it, of stretching more. And as she told me last night at dinner, she's going to kill me now, but nobody texted her this. It was, she has to do more stretches now than ever before. She's got to get in the gym and work out more so than ever before as she gets older.
It certainly makes sense from a father time standpoint, if you will, but we mentioned it earlier, just that performance level and where you need to be at that peak fitness level, and then of course not only the physical, but then of course the mental portion of it as well, to stay mentally in tuned with what's going on, with what's happening around you, and staying in the moment. This match play is forthcoming after this final game, and that a lot of the mental abilities for many of these ladies will be on display at that point.
Oh, very much so. That's when it's really, really fun, when they get out there and do that. And these ladies have been bowling. I mean, they bowl a lot of games within a few days. Adrenaline kicks in. Of course, they can all do it. In between these next round is when they're going to have to think a little bit harder, prepare a little bit more than they had done before, because now this is where, I mean, you're getting close to the big show.
Today, you going to stick around for Game 6?
I think I'm going to step out and do my duties behind the scenes.
Okay. I've held you hostage long enough.
I appreciate it.
That is Tennille Milligan, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye, everyone.
Phenomenal player in her own right, working right here on tour, doing some things as well. We appreciate her joining us. We will take a momentary break, but we'll leave you with a brief video on the season in review from last year as we await our featured pair participants momentarily. Season in review, take a look. Game 6 on the way next on Bowl TV on Extra Frame.
And Alicia Curran is your 2015 PWBA Storm Sacramento Open champion. Stephanie is headed home to Chris and Levi with a trophy and a check and a spot on the PWBA Tour Championship. And Amanda Green is your winner this week in Lincoln. Diana Zavialova is your champion. Liz Johnson, your winner this week in Detroit. He don't consider it cheating now. Repeating now.
The 2015 season in review. Nicely done there by Jason Thomas, as always. JT is in the building, certainly, along with Aaron Smith. Both guys doing work at see Tania Falbo, Shayna Ung, and Karen Marcano making their way. It's set for game 6. This is Karen Marcano. Nice shot there, and another 10-pin. You saw the one from Amanda Green, and now you see one from Karen Marcano as well. The update on Zerbinski, and that one is a little wide and left, a washout. One, 3, 6, 7. For Zerbinski, 121 in the 7th frame. And needs the washout spare. She'll take 3. Open frame in the 8th. 130 now for Zerbinski. 190. Off the sheet. So Max could lose 10 pins. So we've got an update on the standings. Again, check those, PWBA.com. Again, PWBA.com, click schedule. Click the details portion of the Las Vegas Open. And scroll down, you'll find all of the standings from rounds 1, 2, and this cashier's round here. That one a little left as well. She'll leave the 3-5. After 17 games, in the 5th game after 5 here in the cashier's round, Rocio Restrepo continues her pace, plus 516. Liz Johnson in second, plus 443. Shannon Pluhowski in third at plus 382. And a chop spare, chopped the 3 off the 5. Did Zerbinski, back-to-back opens. Sandra Gongora, plus 359 in fourth. Hufin New, plus 311. In fifth, Jazriel Tan in sixth, plus 296. Amanda Green, plus 291. Kelly Kulick, plus 272. Again, these are after 17 games overall. And another 10-pin for Amanda Green. Again, sitting in 7th currently. Kelly Kulick, 8th, plus 272. Shayna Ung in 9th, plus 256. CDB, we just talked about her. A nice 232. In fact, solid games of 246, 232 back-to-back. She is in 10th in the cut line currently, plus 227. Stephanie Johnson, plus 224. And Christina Zerbinski. As you saw Falbo make the spare there. She started with spare 3-bagger spare. Amanda Green with the main spare in the 10-pin will go Give you one last look at Zerbinski and Green's score, or you can't see the score, I beg your pardon. Finished up 205 and 158. 205 for Amanda Green, 158 for Christina Zerbinski. Now back to the featured pair there, Tania Falbo, Sheena Ung, and Karen Marcano. Missy Parkin shoots 223 in her game 6. She was 14th coming into the final Cashers round game here. This is game 6 of round 3. Amanda Green, 205. She was in 7th. Christina Zerbinski came into that last game in 12th. She was the cut line at plus 223. So Zerbinski shoots 158. Fortunately, it doesn't look good in that regard, but you never know. Certainly crazier things have happened. Well, you can see the disappointment there and a couple opens late in the game. Here is Shayna Ung. That one creeps high. She'll leave the 4-pin. We appreciate everybody joining us here on Extra Frame. Again, Bowl TV on Extra Frame during the PWBA season. A couple other scores to make note of. A couple updates. CDB. She'll be in the high 220s. She was sitting in 10th, so she's in good position. Danielle McEwen shot 260. She was in 18th. Don't have the official number, but 260 plus. And we'll see where that may put Miss McEwen. Shannon O'Keefe shot 238. She was in 15th. So a lot of good scores coming from all of the players hovering around that cut line. Karen Marcano in 19th at plus 164. She's got a spare to deal with here. It's a 4-pin. Shayna Ung, a strike in the 8th frame. Ung at plus 256 in 9th. And keep it clean here. It should be okay. She's pacing 180, but would love to have a double to not give pins back, certainly. CDB should be around at least 240, 247 plus or above. We'll average it out to 250. I'm not sure exactly what the number was. No, it was 220 plus that she shot. She came in 10th. Stephanie Johnson was 11th with a pinfall of 36-24, again plus 224. unsure of her score. In 12th, again, was Zerbinski, former Maryland Eastern Shore product, 3-time national champion at Maryland Eastern Shore, a couple NCAA championships and an ITC title. She was in 12th at plus 223 and shot 158. All right, got some officials now. CDB dropped off the pace a little bit there, shot 201. And so that would move her to plus 228. Again, she was in 10th. Unsure of Stephanie Johnson's score. Zerbinski 158. She will lose spins, of course. She will fall to plus 181. In 13th was Sherry Tan. At plus 221. Missy Parkin was 14th at plus 194. She shot 223. And that will get her to plus 217. Not knowing Sherry Tan's score and Stephanie Johnson's score, Missy Parkin might be the cut line. Shannon O'Keefe shot 238. And after my quick math, after being plus 180, Shannon O'Keefe sits at 218. And she might be the cut line as well. Sherry Tan, look at her final shot here down the lane on the right side, just off camera. Can shoot 182 with a strike. So that will make some things a little different. Tan now at 203. And so again, without Stephanie Johnson's score, not sure, but Shannon O'Keefe, they have made the jump. Karen Marcano was 19th. She will make the spare here. Best she could shoot is 192. Nice job by Tania Falbo. She was lined up and ready from the start. A nice 249 game. Falbo was off the pace a little bit, plus 127 and 24th. She will finish at plus 176. A great outing and a great showing and tournament by Tania Falbo. Another Maryland Eastern Shore product. They're doing some great things out in Salisbury, Maryland. Shayna Ung now missed the 10 pin and the 10th frame. She will finish this game 164. Ung had a little cushion. She was in 9th at plus 256.
Okay, well, that wraps up the round 3 qualifying. We're going to tabulate our scores as quick as we can. We'll put these in order, and then we will make our cut to our top 12 for match play.
Our tournament director, Damon Sirocco, on the mic. They will make the quick calculations and make sure the top 12 is official and verified. has been a fun day, and we'll keep it here for you folks just to make sure we know who that top 12 is, and we'll be able to tell you before match play begins. Some things may have changed, and they certainly did actually. How much so, we'll find out in just a second. But I'd expect Shannon O'Keefe to possibly sneak in this top 12 with a nice 238 game to get to plus 218. There's that last game movement. Well, while we await, we'll certainly, again, don't forget, check out PWBA.com. Quick schedule. All of the standings are found in the details of the Las Vegas Open, of course. That particular event, scroll to the bottom, you can see round 1, 2, and 3 on the updated scores. Shayna Ung lost 36 pins there, unofficially at plus 220. She may have just found herself in the battle for that last spot with Shannon O'Keefe, but again, we'll wait and see. Live Bowl TV on Extra Frame, folks, we appreciate it. It has been a fantastic kickoff event. As we open the new season, again, if you're just joining us, we are just awaiting the final tallies of the top 12. We will make match play, so we'll know officially who is in the tournament, or really the second half of this tournament. And now the real portions of the event format, the new event format, will come into play as well. Round robin match play will start at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Again, but little after 11, of course, Pacific currently. So players will have a little bit of a break, of course, to recharge and refresh. Again, we are awaiting the top 12 announcement officially of who has made match play. We know who has made it. Rocio Restrepo. She was phenomenal throughout the day, yesterday as well, and has led the tournament for the majority of the event thus far. But of course, match play a different animal. Round robin. In case you're unfamiliar with the new PWBA event format, again, that all standard events this season, 2 6-game blocks of qualifying on the opening day, and then after that, the field is cut to the top 32, and that is what we saw this morning. We are now at the portion, of course, where the top 12 players advance to match play based on the casters round performances of the 6 additional games as well. Now, the match play finalists will then be split into 2 groups, both featuring 6 players. One group will consist of the odd seeds, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11, and the other will feature the even seeds, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. They then will bowl 6 additional games. Each group will bowl 6 additional games of round-robin match play, and that will include a final position round. At the end of match play, the top qualifier in each group will earn an automatic spot in the televised stepladder final. Again, that will be aired June 7th and taped the weekend, I believe May 25th or May 26th, the weekend of the USBC Queens. That show, that particular one, the Queens, of course, will be live on CBS Sports Network. We'll have 3 other tape shows going on that day as well on the PWBA Tour. The PWBA, the Nationwide Sonoma County Open, and the Storm Sacramento Open as well. Getting back to the match play portion, the second, third, and fourth qualifiers in each group. Again, 2 groups of 6. Second, third, and fourth qualifiers in each group will advance to then a group stepladder final to determine the final 2 spots in that televised stepladder final, where the third and the fourth qualifiers will compete in a 1-game match. The winner will advance to take on the second qualifier and so forth until we have 4 competitors on the televised show. So we certainly expect some intensity, a little drama, and we'll see the first real taste of this format and how it will play out as Aaron Smith will join us to close it out. Aaron has been watching all day along with working.
We'll call it that.
Doing his thing, but looking forward to the format, or excuse me, the match play portion of the event, Aaron, just to see the intricacies of the format and how they portray themselves or display in real life, in real time here.
It's definitely going to be a little bit different than what we're used to, having the 2 groups and kind of just getting used to the feel of that, but definitely allows for so many more players to have the opportunity to make their way onto the TV show, and that's definitely, in my opinion at least, the coolest part of it. Not only do the fans here get a mini version of a stepladder final to see who makes the show, but yeah, for someone who's, just sneaks into that top 12, usually in this position with only 6 games, might be tough, but with it being cut in half and you just got to make it to the top 4 of your group, all of a sudden anything can happen. No lead is safe, no deficit too much with the bonus pins, and it's going to be fun to watch it unfold. You mentioned Rocio just putting on a show so far heading into this final game, plus 230 average for the tournament so far. And in talking with her yesterday, she didn't get off to the greatest start, and one of the common themes we had yesterday was just the nerves of the season starting. So even though she's been keeping competitive with Team Columbia, winning the Women's Masters Gold at the Champion of Champions event in Mexico earlier in the week, she had those early nerves, those first 3 games, and then in talking to her ball rep, Jim Callahan, just said, hey, things are going well, just take your time, do your thing, and all of a sudden just been bombs away ever since. So she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, but anything can happen here. That's the exciting part, and that's what we're looking forward to, and that's hopefully what you're looking forward to as an Extra Frame subscriber.
Absolutely. We appreciate, of course, all of the Extra Frame subscribers, the PBA, as well. Bowl TV on Extra Frame during the PWBA season. Again, just awaiting the top 12, the official match play participants. Did not want to leave you without providing you that, so you'll know who you'll be looking at if you're rooting for or looking at someone in particular. See if they made match play to confirm that knowledge. But yeah, you mentioned, of course, Restrepo has just been phenomenal throughout. Liz Johnson has made a climb to at least the second seed. Not sure, of course, what Rocio or Liz shot in game 18, but Liz made the climb up the ladder here in this cashier's round. And here is Damon Sirocco, tournament director, with your top 12.
Plus 523. Great ball. Fantastic. Liz Johnson, Shannon Blahowski, Sandra Dunbar, Hugh Van New, Jasmine Tan, Amanda Green, Kelly Kulik, Stephanie Johnson, Danielle McEwen in 10th, Carolyn Dornbauer in 12th place, Shannon at plus 220. Congratulations to our match play
Plus 220, the cut. That single pin miss in the 10th did not affect Shayna Ung. Although she has a little bit further road to go. Plus 220 ends up being the cut here at the PWBA Las Vegas Open. So after 18, plus 220 the number.
And just on the outside looking in there, Shannon O'Keefe at plus 218, unofficially. Was told she shot 238 that last game and got her to 218 at that point. But Shayna Ung is in the cut. Danielle McEwen also with a very nice 257 game to make her way into the cut line as well. That's a big game by her. CDB also in match play. Good to see her back as well. Kelly Kulik, Amanda Green, Jazriel Tan, Hufin New, Sandra Gungor, Shannon Puhowski, Liz Johnson, and Erosio Restrepo. So that is your top 12, folks. We will see you at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern for the match play portion of the Las Vegas Open. Appreciate all of today's guests. Tanil Milligan joined us to stop by. Fantastic insight from a former PWBA touring player as well. For Aaron Smith, Jason Thomas, my name is Emil Williams Jr. Again, join us 1 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be back with match play at the 2016 Las Vegas Open. Bold TV on Extra Frame. We'll talk to you soon, folks.